You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
Hello, my lean and lit lovelies. I hope you're having a good week. I'm doing well. Thank you for tuning in to the Get Lean and Lit with Lindy podcast. You guys, if you're returning, you already know what this podcast is about. But for anybody that's new, listening new for the first time, this podcast is for women who are 40 and over, who want to get healthy, who want to potentially lose fat, gain muscle, sleep better, eat better, and basically live your best life. On this podcast, we talk about the real. We talk about stuff that is scientifically proven and based. We don't deal in magic. We don't deal in shenanigans or foolishness. So that's what it is. Today, we're going to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite things, and it's probably one of yours too. Today's topic is chocolate. Yes, chocolate, one of my favorites. But before you clutch your pearls and think to yourself, but Lindy, I'm trying to lose fat. What are you talking about? Let's clarify something. We are not talking about Halloween candy, not that kind of chocolate. We are not talking about gas station milk chocolate. And we are definitely not talking about I've had a rough day, so let me eat a whole sleeve of chocolate cookies type chocolate. That's not what we're talking about, okay? We are talking about 100% cocoa. This is the kind of cocoa that you can find in powder form in the baking aisle in your grocery store. It's the kind of dark chocolate that you can find in specialty stores or even grocery stores, but usually the brands are more elevated brands of chocolate. I'm about to tell you why it might actually support your health, help you build muscle, and contribute to fat loss. Yes, you heard me correctly. We're actually talking about how cocoa is beneficial to you. All right, so let's get into it. So cocoa, especially raw cocoa or high percentage dark chocolate, contains a compound that's called flavanols. Okay. This is the science part of our discussion today. Flavanols will help you improve nitric oxide production in your body. So translation, let's talk about it in plain English. We're talking about better blood flow. And when you have better blood flow, that means you have better oxygen delivery to your cells. You have better nutrient delivery to your cells. You have better workout performance, and you actually have better recovery. So this is good stuff. And for women over 40, circulation becomes increasingly important because estrogen declines, and that causes a negative effect on your vascular function. So just as we age, is something that happens naturally. So again, no, cocoa is not just a treat. Okay, let's get on the same page. It's actually functional. And I really love that for us because it tastes good. It's delicious. So let's talk about the top 3 scientifically proven benefits of cocoa. Okay, benefit number 1 is heart health. Because we're all trying to play the long game here. This is not a quick fix, get in, get out type of situation. We're playing the long game. when it comes to our heart health. We're not playing about our health with our heart, okay? So according to research highlighted by institutions like the Harvard School of Public Health, cocoa flavanols are associated with improved blood pressure and vascular health. So lovelies, please realize that heart disease is the number one killer of women. Let me say that one more time. Heart disease is the number one killer of women. I have known too many young and young-ish women who have had heart attacks, and it's very scary. So we want to take care of our hearts at all costs. So when we talk about actions that we can take for sustainable health, this really, really matters. Heart health is super important. And so no, do not get it twisted. This is not permission to eat brownies for breakfast. You know, y'all start to trip and stuff when I start talking about certain things, but we're not talking about eating brownies for breakfast. Just calm down. We got to chill out and really get serious about it. It's more about using cocoa intentionally, which we can do. Benefit number 2, muscle recovery and performance. So there's growing evidence, including studies published in journals like the Journal of International Society of Sports Nutrition, suggesting that cocoa flavonoids may support improved exercise performance and recovery. Why, you ask? How, you ask, does this happen? Again, because improved blood flow equals better muscle oxygenation. And when you're over 40 plus, recovery is no longer optional. We're not bouncing back like we did when we were in our 20s. Let's get real. We can't just walk off sore bodies after we work out. Sometimes when we sit down and we make noises and we're trying to stand back up, we're experiencing aging. So we're not 20 anymore. So let's get into it. Let's get into the science of how this can help us. Aging happens to the best of us. It's actually a privilege to be able to age because the opposite is not what we want. So cocoa can support circulation, which supports your training quality. And when you have good training quality, you build muscle. And if you listen to me and you've listened to any of my podcasts, you already know that muscle is the engine for not only fat loss, but for so many different things that happen in your body. But fat loss is a big one of them. So muscles are my favorite things to talk about, as you guys know. So don't be surprised that this has a dovetail into muscle building. It all connects. I hope you guys can see how it all really connects. Benefit number 3, stress and cortisol support. So let's talk about stress for a minute. Midlife women, we're stressed out. There's a lot going on. You're juggling careers, aging parents, kids, big and little, marriages, perimenopause, postmenopause, and the realization that we now end up Googling stuff like, what's the best neck pillow for my neck pain? I mean, stuff like that is a reality. So chronic stress elevates cortisol. Elevated cortisol makes fat loss super hard. Like it doesn't pretty much happen when your cortisol is elevated, especially belly fat. And we all know about belly fat in midlife. We're trying to avoid it, get rid of it, just abolish it at all costs. So cocoa contains compounds that may positively influence mood and your stress response. Some research that I've looked into has explored cocoa's effect on mood via the serotonin pathways, including findings published in journals like Nutrients, which is a really helpful journal to take a look at. Okay, so does that mean cocoa is therapy? No, it doesn't. But can it be part of a balanced, enjoyable eating pattern that reduces deprivation stress? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because when you don't feel deprived, you don't binge on junk food and stuff you're not supposed to be eating. So we don't do deprivation in this podcast at all. We are conscious about what we eat, but we're not going to be depriving ourselves. Okay, let's talk about a story. Let's go into story time. So I have a friend, Natalie, who came to me because she was convinced she couldn't keep chocolate in her house. She just was like, I can't do it. I love chocolate, but I can't keep it in my house. She says, if it's there, I'll eat it all. So I said, let's run a quick experiment. Instead of banning chocolate 100% in your house, we upgraded it. So instead of just a regular milk chocolate bar, we switched her nightly candy bar to 2 squares of 85% chocolate after dinner. I happen to like the Lindt brand, Lindt, so she bought that. So she intentionally cut off 2 squares of the longer bar. She put it on a plate and she would sit down and eat it very, very slowly, taking small bites. So within a few weeks, her cravings decreased, her binge episodes completely stopped, and she lost about 3 to 4 pounds in a month. So, not because cocoa is magic did any of this happen, but because she stopped restricting a so called food that she thought was off limits. So, it was a psychological thing, somewhat, as well as a physiological thing for her. Back in the day, this is another story I want to share with you guys. Back in the day, I have a friend named Kaylee. We were training for our first marathon together. She would complain a lot after we would do long runs that her legs felt really heavy and that she felt very sluggish after workouts. So we talked it through, and we didn't think it was necessary to overhaul her entire training plan because it was working for me, and for the most part, it was working for her, but we needed to change some things up. So what we ended up doing was we added a tablespoon of unsweetened cocoa to her pre-workout smoothie that contained proteins and berries, and that was amazing. Within weeks, she said that she had better endurance and she had less post-run soreness. Now, was it entirely the cocoa? I don't think so, honestly, but improved circulation plus consistent fueling plus strength training, that's how you stack sustainable actions. So it's a piece of the whole big puzzle. And by the way, we both crushed our first marathons, and we ended up doing multiple marathons together after that. So there you go. So here's my last story that I have for you guys, and then we're gonna bring it on home. So I have a friend, Kelly. Kelly was crushing it at work, absolutely crushing it, but she was also crushing that wine at night. I was a little worried. She told me, I just need something for the wind down at the end of the night. I was like, you can't, you're going to turn into an alcoholic, basically. So you got to cut this wine out a little bit. So we replaced her nightly glass of wine with a high protein cocoa ritual that I came up with. I actually researched it, but I gave it to her to give it a try. So basically, you guys can try it too. It's basically unsweetened cocoa, a tablespoon. It's vanilla protein powder, a scoop of that, mixed into almond milk with a dash of cinnamon. And cinnamon is for glucose control. It's a drink that is, you warm it up like cocoa. So it's warm, it's comforting, and it's very intentional because it has protein in it. So doing that became a ritual for her. And she didn't feel punished. She didn't feel like she, was doing something she didn't want to do. She felt like she was nourishing her body, which she was. So a few months later down the road, she had lost weight and her sleep had improved tremendously. I don't think the cocoa was necessarily magic, but it added to the ritual, and it definitely has benefits. So you're probably asking yourself right now, how do I choose the right cocoa or the right chocolate? All right, lovelies, we're going to keep this practical, as I like to do. Choosing the right cocoa and the right chocolate is very simple. You look for unsweetened cocoa powder, cacao powder, or dark chocolate that's 80% or higher. Personally, I actually like 90% dark chocolate, and I have a square or two every day. It's very good. It's a kind of an acquired taste though, but I've been eating it for so long that I think it's very, very good. What you should avoid is chocolate flavored things. Anything that's chocolate flavored, that's not going to get the benefits that you're looking for. Anything that has sugar as the first ingredient is not going to get what you're looking for. And candy that's just masquerading as health food. So you got to read the labels and know what you're looking for. In summary, I want to be crystal clear here. Cocoa is not necessarily by itself a fat loss hack. It doesn't override a calorie surplus. So if you're just eating calories like crazy above and beyond what you're burning every day and you're adding in cocoa, that's not what we're talking about here. It does not cancel out ultra processed food chaos. If you're eating bad, this is not the thing that's going to cancel that out. But what it can do is can support your heart health, as we talked about. It can improve your circulation, enhance recovery, and reduce feelings of restriction, which makes eating healthy more sustainable and enjoyable. And at the end of the day, enjoyment matters. You have to like what you're doing, or you're just not going to do it for the most part, most people. Because if you hate your plan, you're just not going to stick to it. That's just pretty much human nature. So my final takeaway for today is, ladies, we're done villainizing food. We're going to be building muscle. We're going to be eating protein. We're lifting heavy. We're managing our stress. And we sleep like it's our job. That's what we're doing. And yes, we're also going to be drinking hot cocoa, the hot cocoa mix I told you about, eating dark chocolate, because we're trying to be powerful, metabolically savvy women, period. Because health is not about punishment. It just is not. It's about consistency. And if a little cocoa helps you stay consistent, that is what we're doing. That's the strategy. All right, my lean and lit ladies, if this episode hit close to home, share it with a friend who thinks chocolate is ruining her metabolism. Let's get her educated ASAP so she can start enjoying her life. Okay, let's get her on the chocolate bandwagon. And until next time, keep it real, keep it consistent, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Want to own a home, especially your first? Well then, welcome home to the Old National Bank Down Payment Assistance Program. We're here to help you from start to finish and make getting a mortgage a little easier. Plus, you may be eligible for up to $15,000 to use toward your down payment. How's that for a little easier? Everyone deserves a place to call home and a bank to help get them there. Connect with an Old National mortgage lender to learn more. Old National Bank. Get old in your new home.
When she walked in on her first day at Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas, she didn't know a soul.
I'm Zion, and I'm a second year at DFC.
A year later, and so many changes for Zion.
I love my friends here. I couldn't do anything without them. We support each other all the time.
At Doherty Family College, Zion also finds support on the academic side. Like all DFC students, Zion can count on a team committed to her success. Doherty Family College is Minnesota's affordable private college option. DFC students earn their associate's degree and then can transition to a 4-year college or university for their bachelor's. Many are students of color or first in their family to go to college.
It's nice to see people that look like you pursuing an education, wanting to succeed academically.
Zion encourages any high school student looking for a college home to do what she did and apply to Doherty Family College.
All the support you could need is here.
Ready to make your move and experience Doherty Family College for yourself? Then schedule your visit to the Minneapolis campus at dfc.stthomas.edu/visit.